Alright, John Oakes here with Hankster's Hot Rods here in our Homer City, Pennsylvania showroom today. And today I've got the honor to go over this vehicle right here with you guys. This is a 1934 three-window coupe. This car was actually built by us about 21 years ago. Again, built out of our shop from the ground up. So we're going to go over this car. I'm going to try to hit on just about everything that I can. Try to tell you the best that I can what we are all looking at here, and hopefully if you like and you got any more questions, then you can definitely feel free to call us or email, text us, one way or the other, get a hold of us and we can look into things for you. But this is an all fiberglass body car. Again, everything done by us. We manufactured the body, put it all together, did the body work, the paint work, everything that you see here was done right here. Again, 21 years ago. So you can see it's done here in the white paint job here. It's got the flame paint job. This was a custom airbrush job back in the day there. Again, like I said, full fendered car, and it is all fiberglass, even including the running boards on this car. Now, as you can see, they did do the rubber mats that go on these running boards. I would not step on these for any reason. If you can get away from that, I would just use it for looks basically on the car. Again, being fiberglass, you just don't want to take any chances cracking things. Now, everything on this car as far as the cab goes, the doors, the interior of the cab, all of that, deck lid, doors, you name it, plenty of wood and steel reinforcement and all of that stuff. It is a suicide opening door, so they're going to open from the front here, and we'll show you that here in just a moment. But again, you can see it's got the hood top, the hood sides, it's got the hood latch system on it to where you can raise that hood up and use the prop rod for it. The hood size can be removable if you would like to, but everything you're going to see has been custom painted and so forth so that everything all matches on the car. Let me grab the keys here. I will open up the door here real quick for us. And again, you got everything right here on the key fob. There are power doors. Again, you don't see any door handles, so we'll go ahead and open that. And again, you just want to be careful. Again, you don't want that swinging wide open there just with no stop on it. Now you can see the interior done in a two-tone, white and red. I believe that this stuff would be like the leather or the leatherette material here. It is not vinyl though, I can tell you that. The dash, again, that's fiberglass. It's been custom painted white with the flames to go along with the exterior. Of course, you've got the custom billet aluminum ball milled dash plate in there for the gauges, all white face gauges. Got the Billet Specialties flamed steering wheel with the half wrap in red to match everything. And Ididit tilt column in here also with, I believe it probably would have been like a 2.5 inch drop, column drop on there. Again, that is all aluminum. They've got the interior finished off really nice in this, again with the two-tone color scheme. It does have the manual, that's what we call these things, the manual deadbolts here to lock the doors from the inside. So, and then the billet aluminum door handles and such. All of your the little knobs and so forth on the interior of the car, those are all billet too. Now, as far as the cab on this 34 three-window here, this cab has been chopped. And I can't remember, again, it's been years, but it's either a 2 or 2.5 inch chop on this top. You can see everything matches up really good when we close our door. Again, that shuts nice. Again, all the body lines and such all match up really good on it. All your gaps are nice and tight for a fiberglass car. Windows are tinted glass, and those are power windows. Again, like I said, the keyless entry for the doors. You've got the mirrors on both sides of the doors there too. As we come back around, wheels and tires. Now these are American Racing Torque Thrust D style wheels. 15 inch up front, 17s on the back. Goodyear Integrity tires on all four. As far as the tire sizes go, those will be listed in the description. You can go ahead and check those out. As we come around the back here, again, fit and finish on this car, we always took great pride in you know, how well everything fit on our cars that we manufactured. We've got, you can see the nice tight fitment of all your fenders, your deck lid here also. Back here in the back of the cab, you've got tinted rear glass as well. Now this deck lid is a power deck lid, so when you have the key in the key slot up front, you turn it on, power it up. There is a toggle switch underneath the dash that you'll use to power this up. Your battery is mounted in here. Now, we'll probably go ahead and raise this up for you. Let you see what the interior of the truck is, because that's all finished off also. Again, the gas tank back here, this would be like a stock 34 gas tank. And it would have been purchased from the company Tanks Inc. So it's a good tank underneath here. You can see the fill neck right there. You've got your tail lights, which are LED tail lights here also, and those are mounted in very nice. Also, mentioning the battery, it does have a battery disconnect on it. Of course, with this being power deck lift though, you're not going to find it right at the battery. It's kind of hidden here, but it's up underneath the rear fender, mounted on the side of the frame rail back there, so you can shut the power off to it whenever you want to. And again, that's kind of a good safety factor. Tell you what, I'm going to continue around the rest of the car. We'll come back and show you that power deck lift here in just a minute. But as far as the rest of the car goes, again, just more of the same stuff here. As I said, we've got the dual mirrors here, both driver and passenger side. I'll open up this door here also, so you can look at the interior from this side. Okay, so again, you're not going to see any rips or tears in anything here. Nice carpet, nice interior, the upholstery, matching door panels. Again, they've got everything done up real nice, custom center console or console piece right through the center up front there, and it's embroidered, and it's got the embossed flame on that also. It does have an AM FM head unit in there also for your radio. It's got hot rod air, heat and air unit installed in it as well. As far as the transmission, this is going to be a 700R4 automatic overdrive transmission. So you can see the shifter mounted nicely on the floor, along with a handbrake for the emergency brake there. So that's all in good order there also. Seat belts on that front bench seat as well. We'll close this up. And then you'll notice it does have the little marker lights on the side here. The gentleman that we actually built this car for way back when wanted to have these installed as a safety feature. I can't remember the exact story there, but I believe that either he or maybe his wife had been in an accident at one point in time, and they just wanted the extra features, whatever they could have on it, for it to be a nice safe car so that people could see them when they were out driving it. Now as far as the front end here goes, you know, a few things here we can go over on this. First off, the headlights. Okay, these are the King B 7-inch round tri-bar blue dot headlights up front. They also have the little amber turn signal lights, all located right inside that one sealed unit there. These are very bright lights. They're like an HID or, you know, an LED type light there, so real bright lights. This is a fiberglass grill shell here too for the 34. Again, all done by us. And then the actual grill itself was done by a company called Alumicraft back in the day. I'm not sure if they're still around or not. They probably are, because they're still, you know, the street rod thing is still going out there strong. But it was a polished aluminum grill, real nice fitting piece there. And like I said, as far as the hood goes, all fiberglass. So fiberglass hood. We'll go ahead and get this raised up for you too here in just a minute. But yeah, you can see how well everything fits. The hood sides, they are bolted on right now, so obviously we're not going to remove those, but we will go ahead and get this this hood raised up so we can talk about what we have for the engine here. So let me go ahead, open our door. Okay, and I know this video might be taking a little longer, but there's a lot of stuff to really go over on this car. So we'll do this, we'll bring this up, okay, and we'll bring our hood prop rod up here. Okay, so we got prop rod all in place here. So now when we look down in here at the engine compartment, you can see underside of the hood all done with the white and the flame paint job. It's got all the bracing in the hood underside there too, so it's not going to warp. It's going to stay looking good for you all the time. Inside the engine compartment now, we will find a GM ZZ4 crate motor. This is a 350 cubic inch motor. Again, this thing would have been purchased in around like 2000, the year 2000. You can see it's got the custom flamed air cleaner. I believe that was made by a company called Bitchin' Products there, but a real nice custom air cleaner. It's got your 4-barrel carburetor, polished Edelbrock Perfomer intake on it also. It's got your valve covers. Those are chrome Moroso valve covers. PCV valve in there. You can see the chrome alternator. Your heat and air unit, like I said, that was made by Hot Rod Air Products. It's a polished compressor. All the lines are run and leak free. Your dryer back there, that's polished too. HEI ignition in this car too. I mean, this car is going to run great because, again, fiberglass, there's literally no weight to it at all. It's a great cruising car. So yeah, that was the motor. Let's go ahead back to the transmission. Again, I already mentioned there, it's a 700 R4 automatic overdrive transmission. So good for cruising in town or getting out on the highway if you wanted to go that route. Windshield, that's in great shape. The rear end in this car too. This would be a 9-inch Ford. Now when these cars were built and we ordered this stuff, we did a 9-inch Ford housing, and it was a centered pin, or a centered pinion, so that your drive shaft coming from the transmission all was in a nice straight line. As far as power steering, power brakes, it does not have power steering. It's a manual steering, but it is rack and pinion manual steering. Again, literally no weight on the car, so you really don't need the power aspect for your steering. The brakes though, those are power brakes, and they're all 4-wheel disc brakes. Polished calipers on this. Again, it's got the emergency brake option on the rear disc brakes, and that's all hooked up and functional. Like I showed you, we've got the handbrake inside. As far as the suspension, I'm going to go over this later when we do the underside, but again, it's a full Heidt's hot rod shop, independent front suspension, Aldan coilovers, adjustable shocks, tubular A-arms. It's got the metric or triangulated 4-bar rear suspension that they called it. Everything painted on the underneath of this car. So, being that we've been all around this car now, we've gone underneath the hood, just one more thing we'll show you there real quick, and that is that trunk. So I'm going to go ahead and get our key in here. We'll power that deck lift up and show you the inside of the trunk. I couldn't see back behind me, but like I said, there's a toggle switch underneath the dash that operates this power deck lift. As you can see, it's got all custom interior panels here for the trunk. It's got the carpeting in here, all red of course. All your weather stripping and seals are all just like new, nice and soft, no rips or tears in anything. Again, you got the steel hinges back here for the deck lid. Again, as I mentioned, it's got, a lot of steel and wood in, bracing and infrastructure in this car. So as far as your deck lid hinges, there is a metal surround in behind the seat here that was built into this car. That's what your hinges are hung off of, as well as all your door hinges too. So that, again, steel structure is going to be nice and strong for you. Nothing should warp, bend, or anything like that over time. Again, this car was built in 2000, and everything still functions just as it should. Of course, you've got the aluminum box in here for your battery. It keeps that battery nice and safe. Like I said, it does have the disconnect right on the frame rail here at the back on the passenger side. So that is the car basically in a nutshell. Still a lot to go over with the underside, but that's what we're going to do next. We'll get it up on our lift, show you the underside. All right guys, so we are underneath our 1934 3-window coupe here. We're going to go through the underside of this car just as we do any other vehicle. And I'm going to try to hit on just about everything under here. Now again, keep in mind, as I started our video out with, this is a vehicle that we built here about 21 years ago. It took us about a year to build. So I'm going to try just off the top of my memory here, see what I can remember about this. If you see me looking at my sheet, it's just because it's been that long and just need to refresh my memory. So we'll start here at the, actually let's just go with the frame in general here. So this is a 34 Ford frame here. We bought the rails in, we boxed them in, we put our own rec tube center section in it also. So everything is welded up nicely underneath here, finished off. Obviously you can see that frame has been painted white just like the rest of the car there to match everything up. Same thing with all the suspension components too, painted to match all the frame and bodywork on the car. In addition to the frame, as far as the suspension goes, now what was purchased and put on this car for front end suspension is a Heidt Hot Rod Shop full independent front suspension here. It's got the coilover shocks. Those are adjustable shocks too. I think if I remember correctly back then, these would have been, I think they are Aldan coilovers, I want to say. I think that's exactly what they were, Aldan coilovers, adjustable shocks. As far as the arms on it goes, these are full tubular upper and lower control arms on the car. The spindles, that would be like a 2-inch drop spindle there, again to get your ride height down a little bit. It's got the stainless, or the polished, I should say, polished brake calipers on the front for the disc brakes. It is by way also a 4-wheel disc brake car here, and it is it's power steering, but it's actually power brakes because it's got the booster right here. So power brakes, but it is actually, they've got that reverse. That's what it is. It's power brakes. So again, keep that in mind. Power brakes, booster is right here. It is manual steering though. So it's got the manual rack and pinion steering right here on the front of the car. But again, the car is so light, it steers just effortlessly here on this vehicle. Now as far as your tie rods go, all of these are in great shape. Again, it was built again like 21 years ago. Everything's been greased and maintained very well. The car really hasn't been driven that much over the years. It's been upkept really well. As far as, I'm just trying to think here what I can go over here. As far as the brake system goes, like I said, power brakes. Can't remember exactly where the booster itself came from, but I know all the brake lines that are strung down the rails of the chassis, I believe those all came from Stainless Steel Brake Corporation, complete with proportioning valve, and it's got all of your residual valves and so forth in there also. As far as the drive line goes on this car, now this is a ZZ4 GM crate motor, 350 cubic inch motor. Again, this was purchased back, I believe, the year 2000, so that'll give you an idea on the age there. As far as the transmission, this is a 700R4 automatic overdrive transmission. It does have the flywheel cover on. It's got this chrome fin pan on it too to help with cooling. Both your engine and transmission around the pans here, those are nice and dry all the way around. Had a custom cut drive shaft, custom length drive shaft put in it here. It is balanced, so again that's going to eliminate a lot of your vibrations and so forth in your drive line. As far as the rear end goes then, this would be a 9-inch Ford rear end. It does have the POSI unit in the center section here, third member, and it's a 355 gearing inside there. Now as far as rear suspension here, you can see it's got the triangulated 4-bar rear suspension. It's all been adjusted correctly, and like I said, all painted to match the frame and the body of the car. As far as, like I said, the rear brakes, already disc brakes, we mentioned that. Again, it's got the polished calipers on the rear as well, and it does have the emergency brake option, which is all plumbed and all functioning also. Now as far as wheels and tires, they are 15-inch wheels on the front, and on the back they are 17s, I believe, and these are Goodyear Integrity tires, and the sizes on these are 225/65 R17s on the back, and then up front 185/65 R15s up there. As far as the exhaust system, it's got a set of Shorty style headers on it. Then it's full dual exhaust, tucked up nice and tight through here. Got your hangers in here to keep everything nice and snug. Back here to a set of dual Flowmaster mufflers, and it does have the tailpipes that will exit out right underneath that rear cover back, or the rear tank cover on the car. Again, like I said, this car was built by us about 21 years ago. Looks great still to this day, runs great. Again, we've already been through the outside of the car. So what we're going to do now, we'll go ahead and lower this off the lift.